All right, perfect. Okay.
There you go.
All right, so this is the November 19th Reimagine Runnemede meeting, and we're talking about the trail restoration project at Runnemede Lake Park. We're doing a little recap of our trail exploration that we did last Saturday, and I'm asking Tim McGarvey to talk a little bit about what his group experienced when they went down the Yellow Nature Trail, which we are identifying as the side of the park that's closest to the Clemens Bridge Road side. So we entered near the Scout Building off of Shepherd Avenue, and then went down to the site of the old pavilion, and then entered in the nature trail. Okay, Tim, so I'll let you take it away again from there. So,
Can you hear me?
yes.
Okay. So we approached, we'll call it Rowan Avenue Extended, where the pavilion is, number 4 on the map.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of hung a right-hand turn, and at that point, you're walking parallel upstream. You all see the Yellow Nature Trail description with the arrow. You'll see a graphic representation of a bridge. Not really running water, but that area is always swampy. And we kind of identified that as maybe the first place to locate a bridge. As you continue moving upstream towards Clemens Bridge Road, there's the second area where there's the remains of 2 telephone poles, and I remember them being like stringers for a bridge on the original 1965 trail plan. On those telephone poles, there's still nails, like the 2x4s or 2x6s, whatever would have been across those, have, I guess, rotted away. So there's no evidence of that original bridge, evidence of the second one. As you continue, and I guess you would say walking south towards Clemens Bridge Road, the trail's kind of open. I don't know if when I started walking the trail and trying to do a little bit of maintenance on it, I just basically followed the path of least resistance. I'm not so sure I stay so close to the stream, but I wind up going uphill, and the trail's pretty clear to the area where Highland Avenue Extended is. Just beyond that, at Highland Avenue Extended, I'm pretty high up on the hill, which offers a nice overlook onto the stream.
Yeah.
In my opinion, and the folks in my group kind of agreed, and somebody even said it would be a nice place to put a bench, a little sit there reflection spot. Just beyond Highland Avenue, the trail, there's a large, maybe 24, 26-inch piece of deadfall lying down that I hadn't cut out of the way. And beyond that, it gets pretty tight. There's a lot of deadfall, but we kind of blazed the trail. We made our way all the way to where the pipeline was visible. And you'll see at the top of the map the confluence of 2 creeks.
Yes.
Where there was a bridge. We kind of could envision where that bridge was. And at that point, Ken, we saw the red flags that your team had placed.
Great.
So from there, we kind of made a right-hand turn and kind of bushwhacked our way out to the end of Shepherd Avenue, where that existing access point is.
Yes.
Shepherd Avenue has a bit of a asphalt, kind of looks like they made a little turnaround. The mayor described that they had done that for the trash trucks to turn around. And some of the folks on our team had said that would be a nice trailhead, maybe have a a trash can, a trailhead kiosk, a couple benches, whatever. And somebody had mentioned we were trying to identify where parking for access would be, and that's what somebody had mentioned would be a good location. And so that's where we wound up.
You know, Tim, when we kind of went behind you guys, we ended up on the same spot and kind of flushing out to that dead end of Shepherd. Shepherd kind of thought the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, we kind of talked from either side of the creek, right?
Well, yeah, but then we went in afterwards, and Mayor Capados and a few others we kind of like switched trails to see if we could follow each other's flags.
Yeah,
we ended up getting. I see what you mean when it got kind of tight as you got further south, but we ended up saying, oh, we could easily get out to Shepherd, at the end of Shepherd there. So
right.
We definitely saw the same thing without talking about it.
Okay, good. Somebody had mentioned that they saw a flag planted on the east side of the creek. I had walked across the creek and put a yellow flag. When Mayor and I we went in from the pavilion, crossed the creek, walked the red trail south, and we found 4 telephone poles, 2 on each side of the creek. That was probably the location of one of the original bridges.
Cool.
So I don't know whether, if we do construct a bridge across the creek, that's, I know we talked about when we were sitting in the Scout building parking lot, if we replace in kind, is it a violations of DEP and the wetlands? So that's clearly obvious that there was a bridge there. So
Right. Oh, great. Okay, good. I think that's great. So my team came in from the pumping station at Orchard Avenue, and there was you could see the beginning of the trail along here, and then immediately we hit a lot of deadfall from that big storm that came through in May, and there was like a lot of devastation along here. It was difficult to ascertain where we were in relationship to the map, so we just did our best attempt to kind of slog our way through there. We did come to an area, you can see here on the map, it's at the end of Simpson, that we did find this stream coming down, and it did have some banks that were low enough that you could easily kind of hop across the stream here. So we did that. There were no evidence of a bridge. We didn't find anything there. And then we may have gotten down as far as this little area where bridges are shown on here, but it was really hard to tell how far we had gotten because there was a lot of, trying to pick our way through. We did plant flags and identify some deadfall that could be cut. So we spray painted the deadfall red so we could see it when we go back to do the trail clearing. One of the things that I think is necessary would be to try coming in, try exploring the trail from Lakeview here where the old parking lot was, and going up towards Orchard to see if it would be possible to intersect where we broke off, like as far as we got in terms of placing the flags. But overall, I would say of the 2 sides of the park, clearing continuing the trail on the yellow side looks pretty easy compared to the red side. So I would say, it might be good for us to focus just getting this trail back. So at least there's, that area to walk, and then concentrating, beyond, after that's done, hopefully getting some more people involved that could help us with the trail on the other side. One of the other parts that's not on the original map. So this is the original map, and here's the pipe. There was never a trail that really went right out to Clemensbridge Road, but there is a road that comes where there is a trailhead that kind of comes in from this side too. And that has one big tree right at the entrance that's down that could be opened up. And then that would get you through kind of to this point. And then, Tim, I don't know if you saw this, but right about here on the map, whoops, let me get big again. Right about here on the map, there were two double trees that fell directly across the stream.
Can you put your pointer on it again, Ken, please?
Yeah, it's right about here.
Okay.
And then there's another, like a single tree that's down over here. And that one I did take a picture of.
I remember seeing that photo. Now that you identify where it is, I recall the photo.
There's this one. So this is just a single tree, but it's pretty darn big. And then there's another one on the other stream that there are two trees that are even larger than this. And they have fallen pretty much together. And I thought it might be worth exploring if that could be somehow used as a bridge, if something could be kind of put on top of that or not. So,
right. Yeah, kind of make like little bit of a cradle to kind of bridge the radius of the log.
Right.
And make a flat walk path.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, his name escapes me. Your contractor friend.
Oh yeah, Joe. Yeah, Joe Costa. Yeah.
Yeah, we were kind of talking about. He had mentioned almost like filleting a log, to make a flat walk path.
Oh yes.
I'm pretty good with a chainsaw, but I don't know if I could pull that off.
Yeah, I did actually watch a video from the National Park Service on some guy, and he basically did cut a log in half and just flopped it open.
Right.
You couldn't do that with these huge logs. I mean, they're way too big for that.
Yeah.
I think putting something on top of it might make more sense somehow. These kinds of smaller bridges for those muddy areas.
That's what I remember as a child from the original 65 map.
Yeah, here's another view of that other bridge, that other log that I saw going across. Because I actually went down here and climbed up on it, and I stood there to take that other photo.
Okay.
You can see here's the pumping station up here in
the
background. So that puts us, let's see, on this map. Okay, so some of the things that I feel like we still need to do is to work on getting the word out that this is a project that we're working on, because the houses that surround this part of the park, I think they have the most interest in what's going on in here, since pretty much a lot of their backyards link up to it. That was a question I guess I had for you, Tim. Did you have any run-ins with the neighbors?
I kind of abandoned clearing the yellow trail where I did, because I realized that I could see a house. And I think it was about where Highland Avenue hits Shepherd.
Okay.
And I guess I just got a little bit freaked out. A neighbor would call the police and say, "Hey, there's somebody walking through the woods in my backyard with a chainsaw."
Gotcha.
From the yellow trail, if you look across the street at where Lakeview is, and I guess that's West First Avenue, you're basically looking in the backyard of all those houses.
Right.
So when you're on, call it the red trail side, I would agree with you. Those people would have I guess a more vested interest in what's going on, because when you're in those woods, there's people in their backyard raking leaves, cutting the grass, doing whatever.
Gotcha. Yeah.
The yellow trail side, the side that's Shepherd Avenue, let's call it, there's a little bit more woodland buffer.
I think it's kind of important at this point that we try to put some flyers up on the telephone poles in this neighborhood. And it had been my intention to do that beforehand, but then we kind of hit a stretch of like rain right before we were going to have our clearing days. And I figured anything I put on the telephone poles would get ruined and no one would see it anyway. So
if somebody makes the flyers, I'll put them up.
Okay, awesome. Well, guess what? I just had a visitor come join us because did you think the meeting was a real, like an in-person meeting? Please ask him.
Yeah, look at this.
Who is that, Patrick?
No. This is Barber Dan. Do you guys remember him? Did you meet him? He was a longtime Runnemede barbershop owner down on Plummersbridge Road, and he has moved on, but he is very active on Facebook and has
Dan Flurry, right?
Dan Flurry, yay!
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember him from the Runnemede Council.
For a moment, so you can see everybody.
I remember him from the Runnemede Council meetings.
You're not in the screen here, so come over. So you're there. You go. There you can see him now. Yeah, he just showed up at the door. So
yes.
All right.
That's awesome.
So what we're talking about is we're doing a project where we're trying to restore the trails in Runnemede Lake Park.
All right.
And last Saturday we went out and hiked them and put some markers down. And it's our intention to go back on December the 5th, which is a Saturday, a week from this Saturday, and go in with some chainsaws and try to open the trail back up again. Wow. So right now we're discussing what kind of heads up would be appropriate to give to the people that actually live around here so they don't call the cops on us.
Right.
So that's sort of where we are.
Interesting, yes.
Karen, are you laughing down there at the bottom? I see a big smile on your face.
I am, yes. Well, maybe the cops will know we're there. And another thing, I'm bad at a chainsaw, but I'll get my hands dirty. I'll show up and help any way I can. I just wanted to let you know.
First aid, I guess that would be the important.
I don't know about that either.
So you like read up on the tourniquet and the whole bed.
Okay, I'll do that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Great. So we talked about the bridges. We talked about so the next thing that's coming up is going to be the trail clearing. And that will be on Saturday, December the 5th. We're going to do the same time frame, 9 to 12. And I think it would make sense for us to meet at the Scout building again and focus our attention on the yellow trail and maybe leave the red trail for dessert in case there's a chance to go a little bit further with it. This Saturday, we're going to have nice weather again. It's supposed to be, I think, 62. So if anyone is interested in doing some further exploration, we might be eligible for something like this towards fixing up this trail. So if someone would like to volunteer to read the eligibility and the requirements to see if we would qualify for this, that would be awesome.